Safety, how our families feeling as it relates to the quality of the education that their kids are getting in the school system, or more recently, sort of changes in our daycare systems. So maybe I'll start by allowing each of you to introduce yourselves. You've all heard from Brian.
Thanks, Matt. I'm Mark Johnson. It's nice to see everybody here tonight. It's good to see some faces I know, and good to see some new folks around. It's always good to see some folks out downtown to talk about conservative politics. So. My background is I've been a conservative activist and organizer for the better part of the last 20 years or so. Primarily, my focus has been around crime and public safety issues. I had the opportunity.
The General's office, and was proud to help introduce new policing legislation, which is a big, heavy lift. And I'm now at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute, where I'm the Deputy Director of Domestic Policy. And that's a broad gamut of issues where we write and research on housing and family formation.
Rozek, and I work for Cardus, which is the entity is hosting you tonight. Cardus is a non-partisan think tank, a non-partisan Christian think tank, and we engage on a number of pillars of research. So you'll find the former ambassador of religious freedom here, Andrew Bennett. We are concerned with religious freedom and religious communities. We have a work in economics portfolio, so looking at economics of Ontario would fall under that. We have a strong education component to the think tank, and doing research in defense of education pluralism. And I am a senior fellow with Cardus Family, and I've been working together with my colleague Peter Johnson.
Is still disproportionately the largest recipient of immigrants, but we also have a net outward migration of particularly young people and young families to places like Alberta, places like Nova Scotia, generally, for a whole bunch of reasons. So I won't premise this with my bias, but I'd love to hear from your perspective. When a family decides to leave, or a young person who may start a family decides to leave, it's rarely for one reason. So what do you think one of those primary reasons might be? And what today, if you sort of evaluate the state of the province today.
Where leadership doesn't cast a vision and fulfill things that families need to achieve the good life. And so when you can't achieve the good life, then you don't get to have those social goods.
I'll connect.
We're missing out on uncertainty in the economy today. This is going to lead to all sorts of ripple effects in how people are planning their lives and the decisions that they're making, let alone the decision to stay or not stay. Because I can just see a place like Sault Ste. Marie not having a lot of options when the steel mill starts laying off a third of its workers. How do we sort of build back a sense of confidence in the economy that allows us to live lives, to afford the lives we want?
Well, my view is that the economy is truly central to a lot of the questions of the day. Social cohesion depends on a successful economy. The credibility of institutions depends on a successful economy. The belief in our democracy starts with a successful economy. And to your point, or to your question, the only way we're going to have a successful economy is if the government does come through, and that's at the provincial end, but they permit business investment to increase. They allow business, they get out of the way and create the environment in which businesses can be successful. That can be through lower taxes, less regulation, which is one that we don't often talk about, but which is absolutely fundamental. Another one is by permitting in terms of fiscal policy, permitting that there's not a crowding out of investment capital in the economy, where the government has a huge.
So I'm just leaving the event, and I'm on my way to Paso Doble this evening, and we'll see if I decide to share anything from that class. Should be exciting. On my way home, I debated on how to make today work, and I knew that if I had gone home after work, picked up my car, drove it to Cardus and parked, that would add on a bit too much time, and I wasn't sure what time I was going to finish work, and I actually finished quite late. So this plan worked out just fine, and it's not too cold, just a little bit windy with some snow, sprinkling of some snow. So it's quite nice in terms of a walk home. So I will have my dinner, and then I'm going to get myself dressed and ready, and I won't have a whole lot of time at home, and I'll probably need to get ready immediately after dinner. So I'll have about 15 minutes, and then I'll have to run out the door, and then it's time for Paso Doble. I am home. Now this wasn't much of a Vlogmas. This is the outfit. I did not film a thing, and I'm about to get ready for bed. And my calf is cramping up a little bit, but that is to be expected. I haven't danced in months, and that just means that I have some work to do, and I'm very excited, very blessed, and feeling very, very enriched in my life. Yeah. So today we did the Roomba and the Cha-Cha, and that was fantastic. And yeah, it feels great. So next week we're going back to the Paso Doble, and then I think we're doing the Roomba again. And that is it for the rest of the year. And I'll be going back to one of my ballet classes. And I say plural because last year I went to several different, or earlier this year I went to several different studios, but that was narrowed down since getting into this program that I'm doing. So right now I'm just at 2 studios, so that's good. And one I'll be going back in January, the next I'll be going back later on this week or next week. So stay tuned, and I have a new 90-day split challenge video, and I'm feeling quite good. Thanks for watching.